Akumoha Halima. Greetings, I'm AMMORAH, Pleiadian High Priestess on the Pleiadian High Council. I wish to greet you with the greatest Pleiadian love. I wish to greet you with the highest love from the highest star beings of the great love. I wish to greet you with the great love from the great federations of light societies. Many beings are watching your plane. We have been waiting for the arrival of the Great One that you know of as the Great Divine Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great with the Great CAEAYARON. In my heart as AMMORAH, there is no more beauty than to see the great sun rising upon your plain. For a long time we knew the times would come when the people would have the opportunity to rise. But how many people would desire it? How many people would be ready to awaken? On our star realms we also have great prophecies. I as AMMORAH am a great prophetess. I speak many visions to our people to help them to become more enlightened with all things coming. My task as a high priestess is to communicate between our realms, our Pleiadian people, and the galactic federations of light, and also the higher divine realms. Also, I am a high priestess for the people who desire to awaken. This is the people upon your plane. So I am like a voice for the people. My task as AMMORAH is increasing greatly, as many more desire the activations now. Each person who desires to return to the great pineal gland, as in the greatest spaces there is only one pineal gland, and when you become activated, you connect within that pineal gland to learn the ways of love and harmony. The ones who desire to become activated upon your plane are more beautiful than all things in the universe, as you have the power to rise. The power to rise was cut off from you at the greatest fall of consciousness. No more were you connected into the great pineal gland, which is where we are connected into also. You pulled away as a collective, meaning that you could only understand pain and suffering and separation, as love is not possible when you are not connected into the great pineal eye, which is the great CAEAYARON. We see all things as divine wisdom. Collective power is standing together as one force, helping each person within that collective power to rise into greater love. I as AMMORAH would like to explain that, as it puzzles many people upon your earth. So I will bring you a small example. As a temple keeper, it is my greatest privilege to look after a group of priestesses. These are Pleiadian priestesses who are part of the Pleiadian races. There are many races. I will not go into that depth. There are many evolution cycles within the Pleiadian races also. I will not go into that depth either at this time, for that is not the lesson. The Pleiadians are the most important beings for your awakening flows, apart from the great divine flows, as we are here to help you to rise. My task is to help the high priestesses. We are a council in one temple of 12. I, as a high priestess, will go into that temple of 12 high priestesses, and I bring in a flow of such love as that is my privileged duty, from the great CAEAYARON to all 12 high priestesses, so that those high priestesses may be stronger into love. That means that all 12 become more gifted as they are connected into the one stream. It does not mean that they cannot have their separate ideas, or that their gifts are taken away, because they all have beautiful gifts. They're supposed to have separate gifts, because how can we flow as a Pleiadian race so beautifully if we all had the same gifts? We are connected because of our gifts that are separate and yet united. If one can make a flower and another one can make water, then the two gifts unite, and yet each of them is separate. For if both could make a flower, but neither of them could make water, then how could the flower survive? And this is how we look at our gifts. We see each other's gifts as holy. So our love collectively doesn't mean taking gifts, or that one is better than the other, or that it is boring, for that is what some of you believe. It is far from boring. When we see you as separated people, we see boring. And I say this all with a smile. For how can you know what excitement is of evolution when you stand there separated and judging us for being boring because we stand in our greater magical power to create more love and unity within all races? Our power is greater because we stand collectively with our gifts. Each Pleiadian high priestess in that temple is able to go and investigate their higher gifts with other temple people. Then they collect more gifts and come back into the stream of the 12 and then go upwards, which means that the other people in the other temples are also greatly gifted by one of the high priestesses who shared her knowledge with them. So then those other beings can learn to evolve. When they are ready to join that temple, then they can, and all grows up higher. Again, we see them as one. Not one as having to do something or having to follow a certain direction, because we would call that forced consciousness. You on your planet only know forced consciousness. You do not know love consciousness. We feel the love so much within our hearts that we desire to be love and one. For when we are one, we're one with a great Pineal eye, which is CAEAYARON, and he's so much love, And each time we grow into our love, we gain greater gifts. So then we become greater explorers. We gain greater harmony, which means that those high priestesses can travel to higher planets, to learn higher ways, and to bring them back to the Pleiadian realms. We know much more about the universe than you do. You know very little about the universe. You think you know much with your spaceships, but you don't know much at all. We can travel through time gates like you could not understand. There are greater universes out there that you're not to explore in, because they are held in a higher vibration. And if you were going to explore it with your little ships, then you would bring the whole vibration of those greater universes down, and that is not allowed anymore because we have risen so much. Why not explore the greater star love universes? In future lifetimes, you could be in those temples too, and discover how to travel to the greater universes. What is so beautiful is that there is no limit to the beings in the universes, and every race holds its own secret. And in the high love universes, we all work as one, so no race is more or less than another, and we all appreciate each other. You cannot hold that love consciousness yet. You always compare yourselves to each other, or competition is greater, but understand that in our realms there is only one love, and we are that one love consciousness together. And we are here helping you to rise, because it is you who needs to change before you can bring through a greater planet of love, which is what CAEAYARON teaches you. You can never bring love to your planet until you begin to change and can hold the greater consciousness of love. And for that to happen, you must connect back into that great pineal eye, the same eye we are connected into. We are greatly activated beings with the greatest divine love aligner. We recognize that. We hold that within our love streams, and we are very grateful. You too are greatly privileged to live in your time, to allow you to rise to the greatness of the great love collectively, of the galactic love families. But, as the great CAEAYARON will say, it is always your choice, as it is ours, and we've chosen for the great love. Akumuha halima. Greetings, I am AMMORAH, Pleiadian High Priestess on the Pleiadian High Council. Greetings.
Greetings.